We're back with your 4 o'clock news, and we want to show you this breaking news coming to us from Sky 8. This is in Multnomah Village. As you can see, and really in just the past few seconds, there is a fire burning in what appears to be an apartment complex there. We saw the flames just moments ago, and as Sky 8 spins around, you'll be able to see it yourself in a second. A lot of black smoke spewing from what appears to be, Stephanie, the top floor of this apartment complex.
And what is remarkable is how much fire we are seeing from Sky 8. I'd like to go ahead and bring Justin Yeager into this conversation. Justin, I realize our camera is zoomed in on this apartment complex, and I am hoping that everyone has gotten out okay. Do you see any fire trucks on their way here? What can you see that we don't see from your perspective right now?
Well, there's no one on scene yet here, Stephanie, and it's a really bad fire here.
Oh, it is.
We've got multiple units burning in this apartment complex. We believe the locator here is on Multnomah Boulevard, just west of I-5, very near to the Capitol Highway area, and you can see it's spreading through this building. I'm going to pull out a little bit. There's flames here on the back of the building. Also, you see it kind of along the rooftop there towards the front of the building as well. We did see people walking away from the building. Hopefully everyone is getting out okay, because right now this fire is raging and really extending into multiple units in this apartment complex. We do have a fire truck on scene now, so you can see a hose there coming away from the fire truck. Some firefighters there actually running around here on scene trying to get some water out of this fire. It's going to be a difficult firefight for them here because the fire's all the way extended into the roof of the building there, creeping along, and look at that, just a line of fire all along the rooftop here. We saw in the back of the building, it's in every unit, every floor there. Looks like 3 different floors of this apartment complex on fire, and it looks like every unit here is in danger as it continues to extend through the building into some of the other units. Well, you know, we do see some wind here. It looks like it's coming out of the north somewhat. We're going around the south side of the fire right now, and as you see that smoke coming up from the fire, it's actually moving kind of from the north and from the west. Actually looks like it's swirling a bit now pushing directly out of the west. Can't really tell if it's fanning the flames, but definitely when it gets to the top of this roof, you can see all that flame activity now spreading across the roof, and the wind really fanning those flames there. So that's another difficulty for firefighters here as the fire gets high in the building. And wow, just a lot of flames here. Look, there's a person running there on the side of the street. Looks like she may be trying to make it toward those adjacent apartment buildings there in the complex here. You see there is water now, and it looks like it's coming from within the building, which is really amazing here when you look at all the flames that are in those buildings, fully involved here in the units on this building. You've got firefighters now on the ground running around to the side of the building. You can see that on the right side of your picture. It doesn't look like he has a hose. He may be just trying to see what's actually taking place there in the back of the building there. But we did see streams of water coming from within the building. We weren't able to see any of the firefighters in there, and look at just all the flame activity there on the roof now. The danger could be coming to firefighters here now, where you could get into the situation where we might see a roof collapse.
Do you just see one apparatus there at this point? Because we're seeing the water come from the opposite side of the building, from where the fire actually started and where it's most seriously involved at this point.
Well, Reggie, we had that one truck on scene. You saw that in the parking lot. Now, as we pull out here, you can see now on the south side of the building, another fire truck trying to make access from the major thoroughfare here. I believe that's Capitol Highway down there to the bottom of your screen. As we came around here now to the south, we do see a ladder truck coming on scene. They're going to lift that ladder up as soon as possible and get water on this fire from the outside of the building as well. So we see at least 4 fire trucks here in the area right now, ready to fight this fire. Firefighters now pulling hose lines in a number of different areas in that parking lot, but you see the access issue that firefighters have as they try to make their way off the main streets. This building is actually tucked away into some of these parking areas.
We're getting to the part of the day, Stephanie, where we do see our strongest winds, our gustiest winds, but right now the winds are not that strong in most of our sensors, about 5, 6, 7, 8 miles an hour, which isn't bad. Now you can see by the behavior of the fire and the behavior of the smoke, it's mainly going straight up. Now that said, because of the enormous amount of heat being generated by that fire and by the smoke, it can change the winds in that very, very small, microcosm that it is sitting in. So the winds around the fire may get a little bit squirrely because of the fire.
Already we are watching this building just crumble into ruin. I know you mentioned firefighters were making their way on the scene trying to alleviate that bottleneck, and now it appears they are attacking this situation from a number of angles. I also see a fire truck ladder or some sort of ladder pushed up against that building. Again, we are hoping everyone gets out okay. We are not hearing of any known injuries at this point.
We've mentioned that there's a danger of some roof collapse here, but the firefighters directly inside the building as we speak, working on getting the fire stopped from the inside. As we come back around to this west side now, you'll see the firefighter there on his knees there in the lawn area, putting water on the fire from the ground from the outside of the building. And then you see this ladder here up to this apartment. That's where we saw a firefighter on the balcony just moments ago. So we know that there are firefighters inside, even though this roof is completely destroyed. Look at this, firefighters here on the roof now. Even though that roof completely destroyed there to the left of where they are testing the roof here on this side, going to try to release some of that heat in the area, try to get some of the fire and smoke to get out of the building. That's going to stop its advance if they can open up enough space there to let that heat and flame escape there. That may protect that other building that shares an adjacent wall with this particular address. You can see firefighters cutting holes in the roof, and in that upper left or upper right corner rather, you can see even as firefighters cut into that roof, flames and smoke are coming out directly on them there. Really dynamic pictures here as you see firefighters doing everything they can to stop the advance of this fire. Look at that, opening up the roof here and flames pouring through the roof with those firefighters right there. Just heroic work of these firefighters trying to do anything they can to stop this fire from moving forward and damaging any more units in this apartment complex.
It is nerve-wracking to watch because they're obviously just a few feet from the edge of the building, and they're also on the other side a few feet away from the flames. One of them very close. Looks like he's getting some support there.
He's getting some support, and this is something that, of course, is nerve-wracking. That's a great way of putting it, because we've watched, Reggie, in the past 15 minutes as this roof has started to crumble and collapse, and this venting obviously helps reduce some of the heat in there. But boy, I am sitting on the edge of my seat. I don't know. There's so much smoke, and it just makes me incredibly nervous to see this. And I just really hope that they get this knocked down and that they can get out of there, and that everyone inside this apartment building is hopefully out and okay and alive.
And it's, I would imagine, just difficult to even see up there. I mean, it's hard for us to see what's going on from this vantage point. I can't imagine what it's like having the smoke right in your face like these firefighters are facing.
Our first priority is, we understand there was people inside, so our first priority is rescue. So we're trying to get people out as fast as we can. And like right now, they're up on the balconies just trying to get, we have some fire up in the attic, so we're there right now trying to get to the seat of it.
There must be concern, Paul, that parts of this roof may be compromised and that it could put perhaps some of the firefighters you have out there in danger.
The roof is it definitely is caved in, so we're getting firefighters out from underneath the roof on the second floor right now. We're evaluating that as we speak.
They believe have the fire mostly under control at this point, although you're going to watch as they continue to look at hot spots. It looks like there was a firefighter who may have fallen through the roof. I'm going to zoom in there and see if we can get any more.
My heart just stopped. I did not see that. Oh my gosh.
And we were just talking to Paul Cora from Fire and Rescue about how dangerous it is for them to be on that roof and how compromised parts of this roof are. We saw the collapse of this roof at the end of the building, and now it appears as if at least one of the firefighters has fallen through, and they are obviously trying to communicate with that member of their team right now.
We tried to get a little bit vertical here so we could look down directly in there. You see there's just too much smoke for us to see exactly what's going on. But we did also see a firefighter in that unit. It doesn't look like they're working too frantically there on the rooftop though, so hopefully that's a good sign as we move around to this area. You look at here, you've got all these firefighters now backed away from where they're looking there. Hopefully that's a good sign.
We have now looked at the video. We're going to play it for you now to see what happened. Now, just moments ago, we were watching after we talked to Paul Cora about the danger here of the firefighters on the roof. So let's play this and see what happens.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
I see. Okay.
Yes, so right in the middle of the screen, you saw one of the firefighters standing at the apex of the roof, and then you could see the roof give way, and you saw him fall through.
But in our newsroom, they are monitoring this situation in a number of different ways, and again, are working under the assumption now that this firefighter is okay and is back on the roof.
The first fireman on the scene after the fireman fell through the hole put his hand up, which is an indication that everything's okay. And the next thing they did was feed the hose through the hole. So he's in there now spraying the fire down, knocking those flames down. Actually, it was a good thing that he's in there, not the way it happened. But again, once he got in there, he was able to fight the fire from his vantage point, which is a good thing.
It really is the sort of situation where you just develop an appreciation, if you don't have it already, for what the men and women of the fire department do in a situation like this. The fire races through either this apartment building or this condo, whatever it may be, and we watched as this building started to fall apart. The siding started to come off, the roof started to collapse, and those firefighters got up there right in the middle of this thick smoke and started to knock it down. And now you see them all sort of standing back off to the side, and Sky 8 just bringing us pictures of firefighters inside working on what is left, which is just about nothing of this particular building.
There's at least a dozen fire trucks here on the ground, so you know, very intense fire. 2 alarm is what we're being told by officials here on scene.
As you can see, the fire has been contained by the Portland firefighters who are on scene there at 40th and Multnomah. 2 firefighters have been taken to the hospital with minor burns and certainly heat exhaustion. You can imagine just how hot it was inside those apartments. We'll continue to keep our eye on what's going on and bring you the very latest information.